And I'm glad we're having this fight. Yeah. This is a fight that needs fighting, and I'm glad you're here to do the fighting with the truck. I've seen images of your truck all around, and it's nice. It's almost nice to see that in my town, right? I'd rather not have this event going on, but here you are, and I appreciate you coming by.
Crime is raging to such a point where people are now demanding the ability to defend themselves in their own homes because they know the law will not defend them.
Yeah. He was on the defensive, and he fought back, and they got the worst from it. Yeah. So the law is exercising no common sense in this matter if they throw the book at the victim.
So this criminal that's wanted by the police breaks into this guy's house, this guy gives him a beating, and this guy gets charged. And the other guy gets charged. But something is broken.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Lindsay, Ontario, the site of a horrific home invasion going back to August 18th. And you know the story. The Kawartha Lakes Police Service, they actually charged the victim with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon for, well, defending his life. It's unbelievable. And I can tell you, folks, in the aftermath, on August 20th, the police chief here, Kirk Robertson, he issued a media release. And he said, yes, a homeowner can defend his or her home, but you can't, not so if the use of force is unreasonable. But that is the crux of the matter, isn't it? What is the definition of unreasonable? What is the definition of excessive? It is not provided. I mean, for goodness sakes, if somebody such as the alleged home invader, Mike Breen, breaks into your house, a career criminal and a drug abuser, and he's brandishing a lethal weapon, well, what are you supposed to do? Use an open slap, a closed fist, maybe get a wooden spoon out of the utensil drawer, hit him over the head with that? Are you kidding me?
Well, if you don't want to get shot or beaten up, don't break into people's houses. It's pretty straightforward.
And I can tell you, folks, put yourself at the scene of the crime. It's 3:20 in the morning. You're in a deep slumber. You wake up to see a guy with a crossbow in your apartment. Can you imagine the adrenaline surging through your veins? Can you imagine the fear and the stress? And I would say this, is there anyone on the planet, if your life or the life of your loved ones is at risk, are you taking time out to go, better not use unreasonable or excessive force to defend me and my family. I don't want to get charged in the aftermath. No, of course not. You're going to go into Papa Bear or Mama Bear mode. And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the animal kingdom saying fight or flight, you have no choice but to fight. You cannot make use of flight because when you're in your own home, you have crossed the finish line. There is nowhere to run to. And that's what makes this case so egregious.
The law needs to be clear that if someone comes into your house uninvited to steal your property or harm your family, you need to be able to do whatever is necessary to stop them. And my message to the criminal thugs who are invading the homes of Canadians in unprecedented numbers because of Liberal laws is that you should be in serious danger if you go into someone's house illegally and try to harm them. If you don't want to be harmed, then don't invade someone's house and don't threaten their security.
I can also say that an ex-police officer reached out to me and he said, you know, if Breen had pointed that crossbow at a police officer, that officer would spend 1 nanosecond thinking about what to do, which would be to draw his handgun and send Mr. Breen to the great hereafter. What's more, there would be no criminal charges for that police officer. Yes, there'd be a special investigations unit investigation, and he would be cleared, and he deserves to be cleared because it's all about self-defense. Now, if a cop can defend his life with a gun, why can't a homeowner defend his life using a weapon that is non-lethal. I mean, it does not make sense. And another thing, let's talk about precedent, shall we? 4 years ago in Red Deer, Alberta, a man came back to his house in Red Deer to find out that it had been broken into. The intruder was actually asleep in the house. The man called 911 and got his shotgun. He woke up the thief and he said, "You stay right here. The police are on their way." Originally, the criminal agreed, but then he decided to disagree. He attacked the man. A scuffle ensued. The shotgun went off. The man was killed. Guess what, folks? The RCMP, when they came onto the scene, did not even charge the homeowner. All right? They realized what had gone on. He was put into a situation of life or death, and he defended himself. So that happened, like I said, 4 years ago. Don't you think that's kind of like a precedent? Or maybe are things different in Alberta than they are in Ontario? It is outrageous. So again, if there is any brainiac out there, whether you're in law enforcement or the legal profession, please, I beg of you, define unreasonable force. Define excessive force. Because right now, nobody's talking. No one is giving the definition for what that is, and I think that's egregious. Finally, folks, can you do me a favor? Can you go to castlelawnow.com? That's castlelawnow.com. We're getting active with this file. We want Doug Ford to put into place strong castle laws so that this kind of garbage never happens again to another Ontario resident. And also, while you're there, please go to savejeremy.com. That's savejeremy.com. Jeremy McDonald is a hardworking man. He is not a man of means. He needs our help because this is when the process is the penalty. He might go to court in the months and years ahead and be found not guilty, but guess what? He is then stuck with a legal bill in the high 5 figures or even 6 figures. No. We're not going to allow that miscarriage of justice to happen. Please go to savejeremy.com, and if you're able to, make a donation.
Anybody I talk to feels the same way, and it's basically indignation. Like, he is the victim here.
Yeah.
His house was broken into. Yeah. They got in through a bedroom where his daughter would have normally been sleeping.
Correct.
They had a weapon. There were several of them.
Yeah.
They went after him after he checked his phone to try and make a call to the police. Yeah. He didn't go searching them with a gun and shooting bullets at them.
Yeah.
He was on the defensive and he fought back, and they got the worst from it.
Yeah.
So the law is exercising no common sense in this matter if they throw the book at the victim.
I don't think it was justified. I'm sure in the opinion of the police, they probably consulted with the Crown, and they love to throw charges out there and then let it all be sorted out in the courts.
As far as what I've read and what I've heard about the story, if somebody enters my house, my first assumption is to protect myself, not to ask why are you here or what are you doing, and did you just come here to steal and not hurt anybody?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to think about that stuff. I'm going to do what I can to protect myself. I'm not going to try and kill somebody. I'm not going to try and hurt somebody. But if I've got something with me within reach, a weapon, I'm going to use that and then be able to call the police, figure out what happens there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's bullshit.
Why do you think the police charged the victim then?
I don't know. Our cops in this town are not very good.
Someone's at your house at 3 o'clock in the morning with a deadly force weapon. What restraint are you expected to have?
Yes.
And, if you're a trained law enforcement officer, you are expected to have the, what do they call that, minimum necessary force.
Okay.
Do you have that training as a regular citizen of Canada? Yeah. So why are we expected? Why are we held to that bar?
I believe every person has a right to defend their home.
Yeah.
And a person comes in it with a weapon in the middle of the night, it's hard to say how far a person's going to go. I mean, when you take an instance where somebody defends himself with a firearm. If they shoot him once and he's incapacitated, there's no reason to stand over him and put 4 more in him.
Nah, bro, it's bullshit. It's like, I'm not sure if I swear, but yeah, just like I'm just a big like economics guy, and I'm just thinking, oh, is this like really how we're spending our money? And it's like the whole airlifting thing. That costs thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Like and just like the police's time, the report, the administration is like, it just unbelievable. That's like it's so rural here, you know. I moved to like 5 years ago, right? And it's just sad. Just like I want to be supportive of police, but then you have the chief, like the chief come out and say like, oh, like it's, you know, they went too far. It's like, bro, it's like you're getting broken into at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It's fight or flight instincts.
There's no deterrent wherever you are. These idiots are running it. Nobody gets anything, so why the hell wouldn't they do this stuff? Yeah. That's the problem, not that. The problem is that there's no deterrent to start with.
Another home invasion that happened in Red Deer, Alberta 4 years ago, where the homeowner was pushed to the point where he had to shoot the invader with a shotgun. He died. But here's the thing. Even though the homeowner had a weapon of lethal force, a shotgun, even though the invader died, the RCMP officers didn't lay a single charge. Why is it different here in Lindsay?
Oh, it's not Lindsay. It's large parts of Ontario and large parts of Canada.
Yeah.
The message they want to send down seemingly is the law-abiding citizens, you stay tight, don't do anything aggressive. Put your keys near the front door so that anybody who comes in can pick them up, and don't scold them because that might hurt their feelings.
Yeah. It's ludicrous that they can define reasonable force when you're defending your family in the middle of the night, when there's adrenaline, when there's someone breaking into your home. Your home is your domain where your family and everybody finds refuge. And if you can't defend that, then the country's in trouble.
Immediately when somebody's going to enter my house, I'm going to think the worst.
Yeah.
So I think in this case...
Especially at that time.
Yeah, especially, I mean, actually any time, really.
But I'm glad we're having this fight. This is a fight that needs fighting, and I'm glad you're here to do the fighting with the truck. I've seen images of your truck all around, and it's nice. It's almost nice to see that in my town, right? I'd rather not have this event going on, but here you are, and I appreciate you coming by.
The doctors or somebody may have said he must have been incapacitated long before he took all these extra wounds, maybe. And maybe that has something to do with it, right, because they think the person went too far. And according to the police, their statement, they were saying that reasonable force is allowed, but once you go past that, then they're saying now you're breaking the law. I do believe you should have the right to defend your home that time of the morning. Who knows what state of mind you may go into being that in that much fear.
Honestly, crazy, you know. I guess it just comes down to jurisdiction, and like, you know, I thought Ontario was kind of like the place to be, but Alberta is just more and more just becoming this like so superior to us, and I guess like has been for a while, but it's, I don't know, just like we got to see some of that change here, you know.
I think the policy, which seems to be operative, if you look at it on the ground, is manage things the best you can. Yeah. They're gaining ground on us. We don't want a big fight. We want the good guys to stay in line, and we'll keep slapping the wrist on the bad guys because we have to. But honestly speaking, we don't want to be defunded, and we're working with minimal resources to do the best we can, and please steer clear of hassle. As I look at it, that seems to be the operative policy if you look at this event and that event and all across the board.
Hey folks, we have returned to Little Lindsay, Ontario to, well, seek justice. First of all, can you do me a favor? Go to castlelawnow.com, castlelawnow.com, sign the petition. Let's send a message to Premier Doug Ford that his crocodile tears about this heinous home invasion is not enough. We need strong castle laws in this province. Secondly, Jeremy McDonald, the victim, the man being prosecuted for having the temerity to try to save his life. No, we're not going to let that stand. If you can, go to savejeremy.com. That's savejeremy.com Jeremy is not a man of means. He needs our help. His legal bills could be in the 5 figures or even 6 figures. We're going to help him crowdfund. We're going to help him have a great lawyer to go to bat for him. Let's not allow the process to be the penalty.